Brock Bowers won the Mackey Award this year, nation's best tight end, an award that he honestly got snubbed from his freshman season when he put up crazy numbers, was Georgia's leading receiver, which he was again this year. I think he's one of the 5 best players in college football, simple as that, whether the stats show it or not. When Brock Bowers has the ball in his hands, good things happen. That's all I'm going to say. You know what he can do, which is everything that you need from a tight end. Brock Bowers can do, and he does it at an elite level. We talked to him on Wednesday with Kirby Smart press conference. It was signing day, early signing day, a lot going on. Bowers, there was a media availability with him, and the Mackey Award that he won was brought up, and he kind of brushed it off. It's a theme that I talk about a lot, and that I notice a lot with the Georgia Bulldogs and these players, and obviously Coach Smart, but they care about winning games. They don't, the individual stuff doesn't seem to matter to these guys. Maybe they've had coach speak drilled into them a ton. Maybe they're coached on talking a certain way to the media, which they definitely are. But with Bowers, I thought it was, he doesn't usually have a ton to say. He's a little bit laid back and quiet in press conferences, doesn't really say a whole lot, gives pretty short answers, and that is what it is. A lot of players are that way. But you would think that even just a little, didn't even really crack a big smile or anything. It was kind of just like, I want to win games. I think that's interesting. Ryan Curley from Dog Post here, talking about Brock Bowers and what he should be a back-to-back Mackey Award. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION, links down below. You can get it with or without Keely Ringo's signature. You can get different prints of different angles of his pick 6. Those are signed as well. Ticket IQs down below. Make sure you go to the Red Zone. A lot of this wouldn't be possible without the Red Zone. There's all sorts of cool shirts. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. All that good stuff. Talk Kirby to me. Whatever is your thing, the Red Zone probably has it. So Bowers this year. Well, let's start last year. Obviously, what he did last year was extremely impressive with the 56 catches, 882 yards, the 13 touchdowns. I believe he had a touchdown in each postseason game. The SEC championship, he definitely had one in the Orange Bowl and the national championship. He was simply Georgia's best offensive player last year, to put it simply. This year, the production dips down. Called it. 52 catches for 726 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also had, he had a rushing touchdown last year. This year he had 3. So 9 total touchdowns this year as opposed to 14 total touchdowns last year. But with Bowers, he does get doubled a lot. Kirby says that no one gets tripled. I have seen 3 guys on him. It's just in zone stuff. It's not like 3 guys were designated to him. He does get doubled. It happens a lot. He's a guy that when he catches the ball is a threat to score. Now, you could say that about some players. Brock Bowers is one of them. He is a threat to score when he gets the ball in his hand. He had a 75-yard rushing touchdown. He had a 78-yard receiving touchdown. That picture is one of the ones that I threw up there. That was against, I believe that was against South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. If that was 78 yards. He had a really long reception touchdown against South Carolina. He had a hat trick against South Carolina. Massa guy had a rushing touchdown and had a huge touchdown where he juked a guy and stiff-armed a guy. He can do everything that is asked. He is the best tight end in college football. He is one of the best players in college football. He's one of the couple best offensive players in college football. I think he'll be good in the NFL. I think he's going to be a first-round draft pick in 2024. Obviously, it's far away from now. But they don't, as good as he is, he doesn't, he's not force-fed the way other superstars. It's not force-feeding to just get the ball to your superstars, because obviously that's a good game plan, but he's not fed the way other guys are. Let's look at Marvin Harrison Jr. stats, just to keep it relevant. And I'll also pull up, who's another superstar off the top of my head? Quentin Johnson. TCU stats. Now, I'm blindly looking at this. I could be proven wrong. Marvin Harrison Jr. has 72 catches this year. So he's got 20 more catches than Brock Bowers. All right? That's a couple more catches a game when you dissect that. He's fed the ball more. Brock Bowers doesn't get fed the ball the way like Jamison Williams and like some of these Biletnikoff winners have in the past. Obviously, Devontae Smith's a different story. Quentin Johnson, so he's got 53, so he's about the same, less touchdowns than Brock Bowers, more yards. So I was wrong with that example. But the deal with Brock is Georgia's offense is so different game to game, and they feed different guys game to game, that he doesn't get all these stats that maybe he would if he was on a different team where he's getting fed every couple plays. That doesn't happen at Georgia. And it's all this testament to just working as a team and trying to win championships. That's how he talked in the press conference on Wednesday. He said, well, I really just want to win games. The individual stuff's nice, but, that's how a lot of them talk. Of course Stetson wanted to win the Heisman. Isn't that what most players dream of when you play college football? Winning the Heisman, winning a championship, making it to the NFL, winning a Super Bowl. The Heisman's on that list. So, of course, Stetson wanted the Heisman. Was he heartbroken? I would guess not, because Stetson's playing for Georgia and wants to win national championships at Georgia. That's the main priority. For Brock, it seems to be the same thing, and it seems to be the same thing with all these players. There's a buy-in that I've really stretched that thin at this point, how much I've talked about it. But with him, I just thought it was the first thing in that press conference. I was like, wow, he really brushed it off. Didn't want to talk about the Mackey. Obviously, I think that he deserved it his freshman year. He didn't get it. I can't remember who got it. But he wins it this year, and he could definitely win it again next year. In fact, I'll guess right now that he'll win it again next year. So rightfully so, this guy could have been a 3-time Mackey Award winner. He's got 1, potentially 2. Doesn't seem to care, because guess what? Ohio State is on the schedule for December 31st at 8 p.m. Make sure you're on the site, dawgpost.com. Make sure you're checking all those links down below for all that cool Keely Ringo signed stuff and DAWGSTRUCTION, Ticket IQ, Red Zone, all that. And thanks for watching.